Have you ever watched someone fumble a billion-dollar empire so badly, it makes you wonder if they were ever truly talented in the first place? Well, that's exactly what's happening with Salt Bae right now. The man who once turned a single viral gesture, sprinkling salt down his arm, into a luxury dining empire, has now seen it all come crashing down. His restaurants are empty, his reputation is in tatters, and his attempts to stay relevant keep backfiring in the most embarrassing ways. This is the same guy who used to share tables with Leonardo DiCaprio and David Beckham, but fast forward to today, and he's being kicked out of Champions League after parties like an unwanted party crasher. Honestly, it feels like his downfall was inevitable, because Salt Bae didn't just lose his restaurants, he lost credibility, self-awareness, and maybe even a grip on reality. Instead of regrouping, he's been popping up at football events uninvited, acting like he invented the sport. It's giving main character syndrome with a heavy dose of reality check, and the internet has been feasting on his downfall like it's free entertainment. But to really understand how spectacularly he ruined everything, we need to rewind back to when he actually had it all. In 2017, Nusret Gökçe, better known as Salt Bae, was just another butcher in Istanbul. Then he uploaded a 36-second video of himself seasoning meat with that now iconic salt flick. The clip exploded, racking up over 16 million views, and overnight he transformed into a global sensation. Suddenly, his restaurant became the hottest ticket in town. People were lining up not just for the food, but for the experience, the gold-covered steaks, the performance of Salt Bae himself, and the bragging rights of saying, "I ate at the viral chef's place." At his peak, he was charging $1,000 for steaks wrapped in gold leaf you could buy on Amazon for $10. But no one cared, because what they were really buying was the Instagram moment, the hype, the spectacle. From Dubai to London, New York to Miami, his restaurants were packed with influencers and celebrities desperate for that viral photo op. For a while, it actually worked. But here's the problem with building your empire on a meme: memes don't last forever. And Salt Bae's expiration date hit faster than he ever expected. The warning signs appeared in 2018. That year, he posted a video hosting Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro at his Istanbul restaurant. At the exact same time, Venezuela was suffering one of the worst economic collapses in modern history. Millions of citizens were starving, and there was Salt Bae, serving Maduro gold-plated steaks as if it were a flex. The backlash was immediate, brutal, and global, and instead of learning from the mistake, Salt Bae seemed to thrive off the controversy. But nothing compared to what happened at the 2022 FIFA World Cup. December 18th, Argentina had just lifted the trophy in one of football's greatest finals ever. The players were emotional, the celebrations pure, until Salt Bae decided to make it all about him. He somehow managed to sneak onto the pitch, grabbing players for selfies, and even snatched the actual World Cup trophy out of their hands. The audacity was jaw-dropping. Lionel Messi's annoyed expression said it all. Salt Bae was making everyone uncomfortable. The internet erupted. FIFA launched an investigation and permanently banned him from future official events. The man who once had celebrities begging to be seen at his restaurants was now blacklisted from the world's biggest sporting stages. Did he take the hint? Of course not. Earlier this year, he tried to sneak into a Champions League after-party, and was publicly escorted out by security. The footage went viral, and the second-hand embarrassment was off the charts. While Salt Bae was humiliating himself in public, behind the scenes his restaurant empire was collapsing. Critics tore his food apart. His New York restaurant was branded the worst in the city. His London branch was buried at the bottom of TripAdvisor rankings, out of more than 23,000 restaurants. The verdict was clear: overpriced food, mediocre quality, and nothing worth the hype. But it wasn't just the customers complaining. Former employees started exposing what it was really like to work for Salt Bae. Lawsuits revealed a toxic environment, withheld tips, grueling 72-hour work weeks without overtime, and staff being punished for speaking up. One case ended in a $230,000 settlement, and right after, he allegedly fired the employees involved. The optics were terrible. Even worse, in 2018, one of his flashy fire tricks went horribly wrong. For guests were burned. One of them, a young model, suffered third-degree burns over 35% of her body. Instead of apologizing or showing compassion, Salt Bae said nothing. He simply acted like it never happened. By this point, customers started asking the obvious: why are we paying $55 for a beer, $30 for a Red Bull? What exactly was the point of dining there, other than watching a sweaty man sprinkle salt on overpriced meat? The illusion of luxury collapsed. Numbers don't lie, his US empire shrank from 7 locations to just 2. His once flagship Beverly Hills restaurant shut down in June 2025. In London, profits plummeted more than 30%. Even his Dubai hotspot, once untouchable, struggled to fill tables. This wasn't a seasonal dip. This was a full-blown implosion. In a last-ditch effort, Salt Bae slashed prices, a move that completely contradicted his brand. The man who once said quality is never expensive was suddenly running discount deals like a clearance sale. But it was too late. Lower prices couldn't fix broken trust. The aura of exclusivity was gone. And yet, even as his empire fell apart, Salt Bae refused to accept reality. He continued posting massive receipts online, bragging like he was still on top. He still tried crashing celebrity events, desperate for relevance. The truth? He was living in a fantasy where his 15 minutes of fame never ended, but the rest of the world had already moved on. Salt Bae's downfall is so fascinating because it's entirely self-inflicted. He was given everything: viral fame, celebrity endorsements, millions in revenue, and a golden opportunity to build a lasting brand. All he had to do was focus on making quality food, treating people right, and keeping his ego in check. But instead, he chased clout, controversy, and attention at every turn. This wasn't just the collapse of a restaurant chain, it was the slow, painful implosion of a man who believed his own hype. In the end, Salt Bae built an empire on a 36-second viral clip and destroyed it with years of arrogance, bad decisions, and empty spectacle. Now, he's left with a handful of struggling restaurants, a wrecked reputation, and the internet using him as a living cautionary tale. The man who once sprinkled salt for A-listers is now just another faded influencer, desperately trying to stay relevant in a world that's already forgotten him. So, do you think Salt Bae can somehow make a comeback? Or is this the final chapter in his story? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. And as always, thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.